Thank you, Gusti, for your very generous words, and thank you, Gusti and Jeremy, the ZFA and the WZO, for bestowing this honour upon me. I'm especially honoured to be here tonight while Daniel Andrews receives his award. And really, Daniel has been and remains a good friend of the Jewish community and of Israel, and I like to say of us as well. Mazal Tov on being awarded this prize. Thank you for all that you have done and that you continue to do for the Jewish community, for Israel, and for the relationship between Australia and Israel. Gusti, I am so honoured and thrilled that you're here tonight, especially for this presentation, and certainly don't take for granted that you've crossed the world to be with us tonight. Despite the distance, you know how strongly the Australian Jewish community connects with Israel, and having you here, having the ambassador here as well, really brings Israel to us and makes us feel even more strong. It's also so great to be among so many passionate, inspiring individuals who share a commitment to Israel, to Zionism, and to Jewish identity, for our community and for our values. And for anybody who was at the biennial today, it was a day of innovation, of ideas, of conversation, and of inspiration and motivation. So I feel innovated just by being in a room with all of you. As Gusti said, Julie Herzl is not a household name, but she played a crucial role alongside her husband in the execution of Herzl's dream to establish the Jewish state. This award does serve as a powerful reminder of the vital contributions women have made, often behind the scenes. It's also fitting that in recognising women in this award, the WZO is focused on equality and social justice, encouragement and impact. Never in the history of modern Israel have these values been more relevant and crucial. Almost 13 months post-October 7, we remain in a world where our values are undermined and challenged and threatened, where noisy elements of society, locally and globally, have tried to turn Zionism into a dirty word and to misappropriate Israel's rights and values in various nefarious ways. More than ever, we stand strong and we speak out as proud Zionists to call out those who wish to deny Israel's rights to self-defense and our rights as Jews in our local communities to safety and inclusion. The violence and tragedy of October 7 and its aftermath have shaken our community to its core. The ZFA has maintained its role as an anchor of activism and advocacy internally and externally during these challenging times. It's axiomatic that in our community, we mobilised in times of crisis. It's always been thus, and it was always the case that when things were going well, it was hard to bring people along to things. But in times of crisis, we are there. After October 7, what we saw first, of course, was devastation and shock and anxiety. But very quickly, that was transformed to an incredible surge of activity and activism through organisations, individuals, and with the emergence of new grassroots organisations. This communal ecosystem is keeping people informed, involved, invested, and motivated. 7 years ago, Gen 17 reported that 88% of Australian Jews felt a personal responsibility to ensure that the Jewish state continues to exist. I'm sure many of us answered that question at the time and thought, this is really theoretical. Of course, yes, easy tick, but it's theoretical. Today, though, we realise how real that question was and how important our answers were. But what we really see is how honest and true those answers were, because we've seen the depth of concern, of engagement, of commitment and activism in our community. Through our combined efforts, we not only express solidarity with Israel, but reinforce our commitment to Jewish identity and to community cohesion. It's a testament to our resilience and our determination to promote our values of social justice and equality, even in the face of adversity. I'm really happy to note that we're seeing a growing recognition of women's leadership within our community. Leadership takes many forms. Some leaders command from the front from a microphone. Some don't have a badge or a title and work quietly and effectively behind the scenes. And it's only when we value all parts of our leadership matrix that we can achieve potential. Little personal backstory. I've been involved either as a volunteer or professional in the Jewish and Zionist community since I was 16, and I'm not going to do the maths there. Over that time, the world has certainly evolved, and so has the Zionist community. My story started when I was a teenager going to state school. Going to a youth movement was something my parents forced me to do so I could meet Jewish friends. Little did they know that it would be the start of a lifetime obsession. My first trip to Israel with August was my first time that I ever went overseas, my second time on a plane. The impact was indelible. It fueled my enthusiasm decades later to make sure as many young Jewish Australians as possible could have similar transformative experiences on Israel trips. As I reflect on my career as a professional leader in the Zionist movement, I feel more than anything that I had a great privilege to work professionally where I have a personal passion, to be part of successful programs and initiatives, to have had input and I hope impact in educating and fostering Jewish and Zionist identity and pride within the community. Identity and pride, which today is translating to action. My work life was enriched by the dedicated presidents and other lay leaders of the ZFA, with volunteers, and shout out to the wonderful ACE community who've come here tonight, and with incredible people in Australia and overseas. Together we strive to ensure our community thrives, that its views are not only expressed but also listened to, that our youth are engaged and our connections to Israel remain strong. Our efforts aren't just about preserving heritage. It's more than reacting to bad press or crisis. They are, and will continue to be, about building a vibrant Jewish future for generations to come. I look at the current leadership team of the ZFA and I'm so proud to see a different kind of evolution. We have an exemplary leader in Jeremy, a leader with incredible skills, infallible intuition and clear vision. And we have a newly elected board, which is both younger and more female than ever. Alon is a great example of the next generation of professional leaders, and I look forward to seeing him pursue his professional Zionist journey. And I'm sure he'll continue to take the ZFA to new heights. It's because of the many wonderful professionals with whom I've worked that I'm standing here tonight. As a CEO, those of you who ever worked with me know I had two mantras. In this business, it's all about relationships, and nothing gets done without Team ZFA. Working in community requires some special attributes you don't find on a regular position description. You need to be supernaturally dedicated, to believe in what you do, and you need to have a thick skin. To all the staff, past and present here tonight, and those who aren't, this recognition is for all of us. Tonight, I'm reminded of our collective responsibility to empower others, including the next generation of leaders. Each of us has the capacity to make a difference in line with our strengths and beliefs, and regardless of our titles. Finally, I'm going to circle back to values, and I'm going to get a little bit personal. I could never have achieved anything without the patience and support of my family. My 4 kids, and Ellie's representing them all tonight, grew up with a part-time mum. My theory was that while I might not have picked them up from school on time, or I might not have been around to help them with their homework, I was giving them an example that when you value something, you commit to it and you pursue. And you know, I'm now at a stage in my life where I'm watching my kids partner up, get married, get engaged, Mazel Tov Lel. So I've been thinking, and Noah, about this. If you have a life partner who respects your values, you're doing really well. If they share them, you're lucky. And if they're by your side, working towards them with you, you're truly blessed. And I am so blessed. John, you've been my biggest fan, my most constructive critic, my sounding board and advisor, my counsellor, and my punching bag. I literally wouldn't be here today without you. I'll finish with a quote, one we all know. Herzl said, Im titsu ein so agada, if you will it, it is no dream. We dream that the hostages will be returned. We dream of peace, security, and a positive future. But wishing, hoping, and praying aren't enough. Together, we must continue to work actively, purposefully, and with loud voices to fulfill our dreams. Thank you.